Frequency, Earth 01 Unit ID. Transfer 04. Subject 07, this is not a test. If you're hearing this, then it's already begun. My name was Jordan. At least it used to be. It started 3 days ago when the hallway mirror reflected something I didn't do. I raised my hand to scratch my jaw, but the reflection didn't follow. It stared. It blinked. I didn't. That should have been enough, but I dismissed it, chalking it up to stress and poor sleep. That night, the static on the radio in my garage spoke my name. No music, no voice, just raw static, and beneath it, layered like teeth grinding under the hum, I heard, "Jordan, you're not home." I turned it off, pulled the batteries, tossed it in the trash. Then came the broadcast. At 2:59 a.m., my TV turned on by itself. No glow, no cable, just darkness and a narrow green text bar scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Transfer Unit 04, operating under unauthorized frequency, Earth 01. I didn't recognize the voice, but it felt like it was inside the room, whispering from behind the walls. My dog, a mutt named Toby, froze, didn't growl, didn't move, just stared at the screen with wet, blinking eyes. If you are receiving this broadcast, you are not in your original world. We told you this already. I stood still. Somehow I had heard this before. Some dream, maybe. A distorted déjà vu that bled into memory. The voice continued, "We monitored your anomaly, your presence in this wrong version of reality, and we believe we found a way out. This is not an offer. It is your only exit." I tried to turn the TV off. No response. The remote didn't work. The power button didn't either. The only light came from the green text, glowing brighter with each word. "We are initiating the dimensional transfer protocol. Subject 07 will go first. Subject 07. That is you." I didn't remember volunteering for anything. Hell, I didn't remember how I got home last night. Follow the sequence exactly. Deviations will result in echo corruption, or permanent identity drift. The screen flickered once. Then it went black. Day 2. I tried to go to work. My keycard didn't work. When I asked reception for a replacement, they smiled oddly, like I was speaking gibberish. "Are you sure you work here?" "I've worked there for 6 years. My apartment looked normal at first glance, but I started noticing small differences. My bookshelf was in reverse order. The coffee mug I always used was mirrored. The family photo on the shelf. I was in it, but I wasn't smiling. My phone buzzed at exactly 3:13 a.m., a message with no sender. "Go to the quietest room, bring what matters." The words from the broadcast came back, uninvited, like a virus nested in memory. So I did it. I stood in the laundry room, no windows, thick walls. I brought the old flannel my brother gave me before he vanished in 2021. Everyone said it was a boating accident. They found the boat. They never found him. I turned off all the lights. I held the shirt close, and I waited. At 3:17 a.m., my floor rippled like water. I don't mean a sound. I mean the floor rippled, like someone had thrown a stone into solid ground. My feet slid an inch to the left without moving. I heard my name whispered behind me, but no one was there. Toby wasn't barking. He wasn't even there. Then the voice, faint, submerged, just beneath my thoughts. "Do not speak. Do not think." I clenched my jaw and stared at the dark, and then something tugged behind my eyes. It felt like a fishing line being reeled in, but the hook was in my brainstem. My vision doubled. I saw the room and something beneath it, like another version layered just out of sync. One where the wallpaper was peeling, the lights were blood orange, and the flannel I held was soaked. I almost blinked, but I didn't. I remembered, this is your original consciousness detaching from the host's body. What host? I'm me, I thought. But the moment I did, the tug behind my eyes yanked harder. The radio clicked on by itself, that same static. But now it was rhythmic, like breathing. I dropped the flannel. The room shifted. Or I did. We lost contact for 6 minutes. When the transmission resumed, Subject 04 was smiling. But they never blinked, and they kept repeating, "Tell them I made it." We didn't tell them to say that. We don't know what actually returned. At 3:19 a.m., I blinked. Only once. But everything snapped back. The ripple stopped. The room went still. The lights were on. I didn't turn them on. The flannel was gone. Toby was back. sitting in the doorway, head tilted. I said nothing. I went to bed. I dreamed of static. Day 3. I don't know if I'm Jordan anymore. My neighbors won't look me in the eye. The barista at the corner shop called me Derek. I found an ID card in my coat pocket. Name, Derek R. The photo was me, but younger, thinner, smile too wide, eyes too sharp. I don't remember ever taking it. My reflection is always a beat behind now. I stopped looking. At 3:13 a.m., the screen turned on again. The message repeated, but this time, it wasn't the same voice. It said, Subject 07, return incomplete, identity unstabilized, await further calibration. Others are broadcasting. Do not trust all frequencies. I didn't leave the apartment the next day. It wasn't fear, at least not just fear. It was disorientation. Objects were shifting when I wasn't looking. I left a spoon in the sink and found it later in the freezer. My bedroom door, always hinged on the left, was now on the right. The fridge had 2 magnets that didn't belong to me, both spelling out a name I didn't recognize, Mira. When I touched one, my nose bled. The voice came back at 2:57 a.m., but it wasn't a voice anymore. It was a layered distortion, like multiple people trying to talk over each other while underwater. Words half buried, crawling into the space between my thoughts. Transfer incomplete. Stabilization required. Subject 07, drift increasing. You are not alone. I gritted my teeth, shoved a towel under the door crack, and turned off every device I owned. I knew they'd find another way through. Screens, mirrors, frequencies I wasn't supposed to hear. But the moment my microwave lit up, green numbers blinking 3:13, I knew I had no choice but to finish what I started. I went back to the laundry room. No phone, no lights. Just the flannel shirt again, where I had left it before. It was damp this time, and warm. I held it tightly and closed my eyes. My heart thundered in my throat, louder than any voice. And then, the floor sighed. That's the only word I can think of. It sighed, like a tired beast beneath the building, and the walls stretched slightly outward. The door frame bent, gravity shifted, tilting everything 1 degree off. That's when I saw him. Across the street, a figure, standing perfectly still, not waving, not looking. But there, a silhouette lit from behind by a soft red glow that had no source. I remembered the rules. If you see someone standing across the street, they are here for extraction, but not yours. Do not approach. But something behind my eyes screamed, "That is you!" It wasn't. It couldn't be. But it looked like me. Before all this. Before the transmission. Before the identity drift. It stood there wearing my exact coat from last winter. The scar above the eyebrow. The same way I shift my weight to the left foot. But his eyes, they blinked. Too often. Too fast. And they didn't stop. 3:17 a.m. The ripple came back, twice as violent. I nearly fell to my knees. The walls around me groaned like old metal warping underwater. The whisper came again, but this time, it wasn't from the transmission. It was from inside me. "You're almost home. Don't let him in." I turned to the window. The version of me outside had started walking, not toward the front door, but toward the back of the house, toward this room. I held the flannel tighter. I clenched my jaw, and I didn't blink. The pulling behind my eyes was unbearable this time, like a fishhook was snagged on the optic nerve, reeling back at full force. I saw flashes, a birthday party that never happened, a girl I've never met crying in the rain, someone calling me Dad, a war in a desert I've never seen, Mira whispering my name in a language I don't know. Time shattered like glass. I was in the room, then outside, then in a hospital, then underwater, then in my bedroom, but with 6 doors and no bed. And each version of me was already there. Each of them turned slowly, simultaneously, and looked at me. Each whispered, "Tell them I made it. Tell them I made it. Tell them I made it." One by one they smiled, too wide, eyes glossy, no blinking. The words weren't just sound, they were code, a loop, an echo infection. The original message was broadcast once, but it's been repeated millions of times across timelines. Each version of me, each echo had received it, and not all followed the rules. Suddenly, he appeared in front of me, the one who had been across the street, now inside, now breathing. His face twitched like a glitch in a corrupted video. His eyes blinked in reverse. Every part of him was slightly out of sync, like his body was catching up to movements that hadn't happened yet. And in a voice that sounded like my own, he said, "You should have let me go first." He stepped forward. The room collapsed into black. I woke up in a room that felt familiar. The walls were the right color. The door was hinged on the left. The magnets on the fridge spelled nothing. The coffee mug was clean, and Toby was asleep at my feet. But I wasn't sure if I was home. I looked into the mirror. I blinked. The reflection didn't. Subject 07 transfer, inconclusive. Echo corruption level, moderate. Host stability, pending. The version you heard may not be the one we sent. We are not the only ones broadcasting. Wait for our next transmission. Stay connected.